Okay, so I've done a lot of research over the past day on these first 2 pages of Hojat, and it's a lot more work than I thought it was going to be. My level of Russian is nowhere near this, so I had to look up words, use various dictionaries. When one dictionary the word didn't seem quite right, I had to look up some grammar and try to learn some grammar because the different cases and the ways words change depending on their function in a sentence. But basically, I wasn't too far off on the first 2 pages if you saw yesterday's video. What happened is there's a composer named Gioacchino Rossini, and this is what I found out after all my intensive reading and research. He's cried 3 times in his life. The first time is when his mother died. The second time he cried is when everyone booed his premiere. He was premiering The Barber of Seville at the theater, and it got booed. And then the third time, he was on a cruise or a boat somewhere, and he ordered this stuffed quail. It was stuffed with truffles and saffron and everything, and he dropped it over the side of the boat before he could taste it. It then goes on to say, imagine the chef who had put all this work, and the chef, when he heard that the bird fell over the side of the boat before he could taste it, he cried too. And then it asks the reader to imagine you're the bird and you spend your life, you're in an egg, the egg breaks open, you live your life, you're doing this, you're doing that, and eventually you get shot, killed, turned into a beautiful, beautiful dinner. And before you can even be enjoyed your life's purpose, you're dropped over the side of the boat and you watch the world sink under the water. And what a waste that was. And then he says, well, actually, let's turn this into laughter. Let's not dwell on the sad things. And so he does a little word game where he does Roman, Toman, Tuman, Tumak, Tumat, Topor, Topot, Hohot. He's just basically changing the T's in a word, I believe, and he turns Roman, which is the Russian word for novel, a roman, from, like in English we call it a romance, a roman, he changes it into Hohot, laughter, by just switching a few letters around. I guess he thought that was clever. And maybe it is. And then it jumps and it says, let's think about spring, April 9th, or 9 o'clock in the morning on April 9th, the spring, and he says there's an art gallery in Moscow named after Fanny Kaplan. And in this art gallery, they're going to have a premiere. I think it might be the premiere of this man's... Oh, I forgot this part. Sorry. He was so upset about losing that quail over the side of the boat that he wrote an entire musical score based on his grief of losing the bird. And so now they're going to premiere that, I think. I don't know. It just says tomorrow's event, but I'm guessing it might be the premiere of this man's musical score at the art gallery. But at this art gallery, they have a cake in the shape of Elvis Presley. It's a big cake. It's a life-size Elvis Presley cake. It weighs 250 pounds, which is the weight Elvis was when he died. So they have this cake in the freezer or the fridge. They're going to premiere it tomorrow at the art gallery. And that's when 3 robbers come in and they hold up the security guard. They put a gun in his face and they're telling him, we're here for the body of Lennon. John Lennon, I guess. They say they're music lovers, but they don't know anything about music. It says both those things about these men. And then the security guard's like, we only have Elvis. And they start arguing about we're here for John Lennon's body, and then he mentions Annie Lennox. Maybe you mean Lennox. And then the other guard comes up and he's like, no, not John Lennon, Vladimir Lenin. And that's as far as I got. And wow, that was a lot of work. But the interesting thing is they're trying to steal Lenin's body, I believe. And that'd be at the mausoleum, not at the art gallery. I have no idea what's going to happen, and right now I'm on the verge of just giving up because it was so much work. But no, I'm going to keep it up. I don't know if I'll be doing every day, but I'm going to keep up. I'm going to get through this book. My wife's verdict so far, after telling her, she refused to read the first 2 pages, but after telling her what happened, she said that the author, Anatoly Korolev, is easily a schizophrenic who probably shouldn't be writing books. But there you go. So that's the first 2 pages of Hojot. We will try to continue on with 2 more pages in a day or so. Have a good day.